Okay, y'all. I am going to go directly to her channel for this one because pretty much everybody has had so much to say about her Q&A that all of their videos get dragged out to like an hour plus. And looking at the time on her video, it looks like it was a little under 30 minutes. Um, so I imagine I'm probably going to drag it out too. And I just don't want to tag along with somebody on this one. So let's take a look at this crap that this woman put together today. Uh, all right. Um, Charging my phone right now, so I can't put my face up just yet until I get a little extra charge.
Never underestimate the power of a woman. They say people, like natural diamonds, form over time.
Hello, foodie beauties.
Oh my god.
And I respect that. And it doesn't have anything to do with me controlling him. I would like to continue with the couples videos, if I'm quite honest. I would love to, because I don't care what people think about our relationship.
You're the one who told us that you took away all of his social media, so I don't know what you're backtracking for at this point. You literally told him to delete all of his social media. So, are we rewriting history now? Is that what's happening?
Make the choices I make in my life. And, yeah, I would love to make videos with him still. But, he doesn't want to, so it's just going to be me. So you will not be seeing Salah anymore on...
Why would he want to at this point? You've been so incredibly rude to him. I mean, first of all, he turned out to be a horrible person, and you shouldn't be there in the first place. But I can understand how being completely outed on social media for having a bizarre humiliation fetish that includes some really disgusting things, and then having you do live streams saying that you were taking away his social media and everything else, that's got to be pretty emasculating, you know? Don't you think, Chantel? Don't you think that as a social media expert, you could have given him better advice over how to like overcome this particular hiccup that you call it a hiccup, right?
Videos. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. Someone asked, why does he film you in the most unflattering ways? Listen, he doesn't think...
Okay, Miss Filters. How many filters have you got on your face right now, girlfriend?
that way, and I don't think that way. Like, I'm not ashamed of my body in any angle. I am,
Well, you sure as hell should be, because, I mean, it looks like you are about to be bedridden. I mean, you've got the craziest ass posture. You're destroying your legs and your hips and your ankles and your spine, and you've got a hump growing on your back. And he certainly doesn't hide that when he's filming you, okay?
Oh, not a coward. I'm not shy. I show my whole body in every angle. I am who I am, and I mean, I'm not ashamed of myself.
Okay.
So I don't mind being shot in different angles. I actually tell him what angles to shoot me in and what to do. I kind of direct him how I want to be like filmed. So I do it for different angles just to switch things up a bit. I'm not like a catfish, and I don't like hold my camera high up here most of the time to make myself look...
Why don't you just... I mean, seriously, you could do it by yourself. You could get one of those like selfie sticks or whatever and just go and do it. But instead, you're constantly making him like your manservant. This has got to be really weird. I could not imagine asking my boyfriend to follow me around and video me all the time. That would be so bizarre. Like, first of all, he is definitely much more of an alpha male than your boyfriend, husband, whatever he is to you. Um, and there is no fucking way he would do that. Period. Unless it's like my birthday party or something like that, right? But there's no way I could get him to walk around and be my videographer. The man is busy and important. He has a lot of other shit he needs to do. I mean, half of the time when he comes over to visit me, he's on Zoom calls and shit.
Dinner because I'm just not fake like that. So that's your answer. If Salah moved out, would you pretend that you were still living together and continue to live in Kuwait alone whilst paying him to film your vlogs? Or would you go back to Canada? This question makes no sense to me. Why on earth would I move back here to live by myself? Like, no, I would never live here by myself.
There was a lot of hesitation in that answer. Lot of hesitation in that answer. Why do you still have the blue furniture? And where exactly is it being kept?
Number one, I wouldn't even be able to live in this apartment by myself. As I've said many times, I guess people just don't listen when I talk, or they choose not to believe it. That's fine, but you're believing false information because you can't live in this apartment unless you're married. So we had to show our marriage certificate to the apartment owner in order to live here. We don't show it to online strangers because it's none of their business and we don't owe them shit. So that being said,
that seems like a very ridiculous requirement, because I imagine that with all the other expats that come over to live in Kuwait, they also need places to live. And I doubt that that would be an actual requirement to rent an apartment if you are there, say, for Halliburton or something, which is a real thing that was going on in the aughts, where people were going over to Kuwait and working for Halliburton. So I can't imagine that, oh, you must be married in order to rent an apartment. That's very, especially you're constantly showing all of these Western chains like Chili's and shit in your videos. And you yourself have said there's a lot of expats and not everybody's Muslim. So where did that fucking come up with? Like, how'd you come up with that bullshit?
Yeah, I would not live here. I would definitely, I don't know if I would go back to Canada, but I would maybe do something else. I don't know. Hi, Foodie from Trashy Goral. 434 likes.
I wouldn't have taken 5 caffeine pills every...
Goral. 434 likes. Hi, Foodie. Quick question. How did you manage to gain 13 pounds? It's called binge eating disorder. You could probably Google it, where you eat 1,000.
Have you been diagnosed? Because binging also requires purging, and you're definitely not purging. So why don't you actually get diagnosed for whatever eating disorder it is that you have? But it seems like you want to self-diagnose yourself for that, for sciatica, for everything else. You don't even describe sciatica the way it actually happens. So, I mean, just because you have back pain doesn't mean you have sciatica, girlfriend. Sciatica is shooting pains that go down your leg as a result of, like, a pinched nerve. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Of calories at once. Also, the type of food I would eat, a lot of sodium would make me retain a lot of fluid. So it's very easy to go up in pounds when you have binge eating disorder. I hope that answers your question. But I've been doing really well.
You just overeat. You overeat. You're not binging and purging. Period.
I haven't binged in a while. Okay. Do you ever think you'll actually do what doctors tell you? I've already lost body parts from the beatus, and what you are doing is so scary. Please stop. I try to do what the doctors tell me. I've been to a diabetes doctor, an endocrinologist, and I told you guys what he told me to do. And still people come at me and say, he's not right. He shouldn't tell you.
Wait, are you trying to say endocrinologist? Because I don't think you said that right.
To eat carbs. Actually, he goes for a more balanced way of eating. So, like, I'll put some screenshots, but like basically, yeah, just food balance and combining carbs with, healthy carbs with other food groups. So I am trying to do that. If I fail, it's because I either just have slip ups, that happens.
Like every day?
Okay, why aren't you doing reaction videos? Why did you change your mind in less than 24 hours? I did put a community post. You could probably go read it if you didn't. Why I chose to change my mind again. But this will be the last time. I'm not engaging with any drama, any people that aren't worth my time.
Yeah, you already are. Like, you literally already are. You have already dirty deleted stuff this morning, so I don't know what you're talking about. You act like a teenage girl every goddamn day.
Or energy, which is one of the reasons, but also the main reason is I try to listen to about 2 minutes and of the material I would have to react to, and I wanted to tear my eardrums out, so there's no way there's no money on earth worth listening to that palava for more than 2 minutes, so no. Yeah, so how long is Salah grounded from the internet? As long as he wants to be. He doesn't want to come online. I can't blame him. The internet is really toxic, and it's probably better, like, if I didn't love my beezers and I didn't like the attention of making videos and entertaining people, I wouldn't want to be on here either, trust me. Like, if I wasn't making money from the internet, I wouldn't be doing it. So just to reiterate, it's 100% Salah's choice not to be on the internet. I don't control him.
Yeah, that's not true. Because that's not what you told us in December. You told us you took away all of his social media. That's not true.
If he really wanted to come online, that would be up to him. But like I said, I want to do couples videos, but he doesn't. Why are you not taking insulin to get your blood sugars back to normal and avoid further damage to your body? You were not able to do it with just medication. 10 is not a good fasting blood sugar. So this is the point where your doctor should be putting you on insulin. Okay, so Gorl Lash, I'm not a doctor. I did bring that up to him. He doesn't think I need to be on insulin, so he didn't prescribe me insulin. Actually 10 for now. It hasn't been that long I've been on medication, and it went from 23 to 10, so that is pretty good right now. If it doesn't...
No, it's not, because you're supposed to be somewhere around like 5 or 6, right? That's like me sitting in the hospital at 2.1 potassium and being like, oh, that's nice that you got me up to 2.5 before you discharged me, despite the fact that I'm supposed to be between 3.5 and 4.5. So I ended up taking a lot of potassium supplements in order to bring myself up to a 3.9, because I worked on it. You don't work on it.
Go down in the future, maybe we'll look at that, I don't know, but I also haven't been completely eating in a very diabetic friendly way, so
no kidding.
I mean, that's no secret. I don't hide that from the internet. So yeah, I mean, that's why my doctor didn't prescribe it. All right, why not come clean about the couple's channel and Salah? If he's not coming...
Is somebody paying you on the side to do these bizarre mukbangs? Because it's really weird and it's creeping everybody out. And it just looks like a food fetish to somebody. Is somebody paying you on the side for this bullshit?
back, why are you together if what you wanted was a couples channel in the first place? Come clean about what? I've said he does not want to continue being online. If he's not coming back, why are you together? So you're basically saying that the entire reason, and you choose to believe that the entire reason we're together is just for content? Well,
Yep.
then that's your problem.
Disguise is a
That's your problem because there's something called love. Okay, this is I don't even know.
Yeah, you fell in love in 3 weeks. Okay. In 3 weeks. You know, I've been dating my boyfriend for 1.5 years. We were friends for 2 years before that. And we definitely are not in a place where we want to get married. Okay. We love each other, but we're not in a place where we want to get married. Like, who the hell makes rash decisions like that? My ex-husband, I dated him for 2 years before I married him. Like, what the hell are you doing with your life? Oh my God.
Have you looked at the symptoms of oppositional defiant disorder and borderline personality disorder? No. Do you believe you might be experiencing disorders? Is it possible that you are addicted to stress? No. Additionally, why are you not interested in learning to speak Arabic, especially considering your desire to live there for a while, your husband's first language, and as a means to show appreciation for the culture? I appreciate the culture. Doesn't mean I have to speak the language. I might learn Arabic. I'm learning slowly with him, but I might take a course in the future. I don't know. I'm focusing on other things right now.
You have no job. You do nothing. If this man actually matters to you, you should learn his language. I'm seriously considering getting Rosetta Stone to learn Spanish so that I can speak my boyfriend's first language and the language that he speaks to his family, because half of the time I feel like they're speaking in code. It's like that episode of Seinfeld where they keep going into the Vietnamese nail parlor where they're getting pedicures and stuff, and they end up bringing George's dad in, and because he speaks Vietnamese, he can understand what they're saying.
I don't know why oppositional defiant disorder. I don't know. I mean, are you a psychiatrist? I don't know. Are you suggesting that that's what I have? I've been to many psychiatrists and they've never mentioned that. So thanks for the question. Why is one side of your face swollen along with your eye? Have you seen a doctor about this? My face is swollen on one side?
It is.
I don't see it.
Take the filters off, girlfriend.
Maybe you're looking too much at my face. I don't know. If you end up...
Well, you're the one putting your face up on social media, so what are you talking about? Maybe you're looking too much at my face? Okay.
too ill or bedbound and become unable... These are like the dumbest questions I've ever read in my life. This is... I know why I'm annoyed is because I know where...
You're like a 500-pound woman. These are exactly the kind of questions you're going to get. What are you talking about? Everybody's concerned about your health and whether or not you're going to start losing body parts. Like, for real? You're surprised? You're surprised by this. Okay.
This comes from because reaction channels will sit there on panels for 2 hours talking about contriving these stupid theories. If you end up too ill or bedbound and become unable to make YouTube videos, what's your backup plan to make enough money to continue living how you are without issue? Listen, if I become bedbound, which won't happen because I literally just did a video of walking, but okay. If I become
just because you can walk today doesn't mean you can walk tomorrow. And when the way you were playing on that playground equipment, you could have dislocated your shoulders. You could have landed funny and broken an ankle. What are you going to do if you break an ankle? And you have to be in bed for a long period of time. Is Salah gonna come in and wipe your ass?
Bound for some reason, then YouTube would be the easiest form of making money, would it not? I mean, you just have to lay there. I'm sitting here. I can lay there and also talk to you guys and go live or whatever.
Oh, wow, that'd be great.
But I'm not the type of person who like sits here and thinking, what if, what if, what if? No, I live my life and don't worry about that. Are there any ideas for videos with Salah when he returns? I suggest you should have Salah read out a hostage apology note in an orange outfit in the desert next to you with the vegetable pointed to his head. Yeah, seriously. If that, he won't be coming back, but that's a funny idea. I like that.
He won't be coming back, she says. So whose choice is it? If you're making that determination for him, he won't be coming back, y'all. Really.
There are about 7,500 Canadians living in Kuwait. Why have you not reached out and made friends with any of them? I don't really care what culture you're from, like, to make friends with. If anything, I'd probably rather make friends with, like, locals, because I have a lot of Canadian friends. Like, I want something different. I don't trust anybody. Like, I've had people reach out to me wanting to meet and, like, hang out, but I don't trust anyone from the internet. So I'm a little apprehensive about.
No, you're literally too lazy to like go out and have social interactions, period. Like, you can't even meet anybody in your building. You don't even know your neighbors.
That. Also, I just don't really have time to focus on making new friendships. Making new friendships with people is draining and it takes a lot of energy, and I need to focus all that on bettering myself right now. Mm-hmm. Have you, or do you consider your life out of control when it comes to your ability to control your eating and control your health? Well, yeah. I thought that was pretty obvious. If so, have you considered inpatient or an outpatient program? Yes, and I've been to both. I've tried to get into an inpatient program in Ottawa, and they have very limited beds. And the outpatient program pretty much did.
Yeah, you know what? You can't just show up to an ER and expect that they're going to just admit you, especially if your vitals are normal when you go in. And from what you described, your blood pressure was on point. You actually did not need assistance, because that's not the purpose of an ER. An ER is for people who are experiencing life-threatening situations, which is why they did admit me and they put me on a potassium drip, because I was experiencing a life-threatening situation. You are not. You are experiencing a long-term health problem that needs long-term care, and you are refusing to seek the appropriate medical care to actually get it treated.
Nothing for me. They put me on Vyvanse, and that made me feel like I was on like a hard drug. What would you do if YouTube ended? No idea. Life would go on though. I mean, that's it, you know. I never stay stuck for a long time. Did you really walk those 3,000 plus steps, or did Salah walk most of them? My goal is 2,000 plus steps, or did Salah walk most of them? What? We walked alongside. That's how he was able to film me.
Oh, really? So he didn't like take the phone out of your hand for a while, and while you sat on a bench and, you know, do a few extra steps for you? I'm not saying that this did or didn't happen, but first of all, I think she actually hit 4,000 steps at the end of it. That's still not a lot. It's not a lot. Most people shoot for 10,000 in a day, but okay.
I don't understand what you're talking about. I was in like the majority of the shots. So no, and I even showed like my phone. No, I walked them.
You were in the majority of the shots. This is like cut shots. Like this, the whole thing was fucking edited. Give me a break.
Would you take on the challenge of giving up rice for veggies for one entire week? Yeah, I would for sure. Yeah, no problem. I love veggies, I do. Just because I'm not able to always control my binge eating doesn't mean that I don't like vegetables. I do love vegetables. So yeah, I would definitely try that sometime. I have spent a lot of energy.
Why not now? Why not now, Chantel? Take rice out of your diet. Start loading up with some broccoli and cauliflower and carrots, tomatoes. You can load up your plate with that. You can season it, as long as you don't over salt it, right? That could be your filler food. You're like, I don't know, I might try it someday. I might, maybe one of these days.
In my life, I am old in the pursuit of men. Don't all women want a partner, or most of them?
No, Chantal. Not everybody wants to be in a relationship at all times. It's not that goddamn important. In fact, I have spent several years single, raising my son, focusing on me, focusing on activities that I'm doing, such as political activism and things like that. There have been lots of times that I have been single. And I generally will only enter a relationship if I truly have a connection with my partner, period. Do I always make the best decisions? Not always, but I always try. Always try and make those relationships work. I do the best that I can. I certainly would not stay in a relationship with somebody like Salah at all. I mean, the minute I found out that my husband was cheating on me, gone, divorced, over, done. I can't say you're too young. I can't say you're too old to be making bad decisions like this. But you're making bad decisions. And he's not going to want to stay with you. You can't give him kids. He's ultimately going to want to have kids. He probably doesn't yet because he realizes that he is not financially responsible enough to actually provide for a family. And so right now you're his sugar mama, and this is how it is. All right.
Watching my weight and changing my personality and fussing over them. And you know what I have realized? Men don't like women at all. It takes age and life experiences before they even really care about other people. Even their woman.
She read that question wrong. The question actually said men don't think like women at all. Not the same thing. That's so weird that she read it that way.
I think you're talking about personal experience. If you never had to pursue a man, what would you do with your life? What are your interests? I don't think that my life has anything to do with pursuit of man. I could leave and be single right now and still have my independent life. I definitely...
No, you couldn't. You couldn't. You were heavily reliant on having a partner in your life. And you know it. So stop lying to your audience.
Love Salah, and I fell in love, and that wasn't planned. It's not something that I planned. It's not like I was like, oh, I need a man. I don't...
You found him on Tinder. You're such a lying bitch. Oh my God. You literally went to Tinder to locate somebody who was desperate for Canadian citizenship. And you're like, I just fell in love with him. Okay.
Need a man? I want a man. Actually, maybe I do need a man. I need someone, supportive, and I need romance and attention and intimacy.
Yeah, you don't, because you're not getting that. You're not getting intimacy. You're not fooling anybody by making that statement. We know you're not getting intimacy.
Is a huge thing in my life. And so yeah, I don't really understand the question, I guess. Like I said, I've never really pursued a man, like to the point where it ruined my life. Like I've always worked.
Well, that's not what I heard about Nader, so. You sound like a crazy stalker bitch who comes after ex-boyfriends. Okay.
Had my own life, you know? So I don't really understand your question fully, but I hope that answers it. Sorry guys, I don't like to sit in one position for too long. It's painful now. Mm-hmm. You uprooted what life and family connections you had in Canada for Kuwait and everything you thought it was going to be. What if...
Notice she didn't actually get up, by the way. She didn't get up. Like, if she was actually trying to relieve hip pain or, you know, deal with an actual sciatica problem, she would be changing her position. She wouldn't just be like shifting on the couch like that. She would be trying to do some stretches. She would be getting up. She's full of shit.
In 5 years' time, something happens to your family. Okay, I'll answer that first part. You uprooted what life and family connections you had for Kuwait and everything you thought it was going to be. If you're referring to the event that happened...
I noticed how quickly she stopped shuffling, and it's no longer an issue, right?
And with my husband and I, as it completely ruining everything we had built, that's where the reason I'm here. It's because it didn't. Because that's where I outweighed everything we had with what we talked about in private and new promises we made to each other. We are starting again anew.
I'm sure you did outweigh them.
And moving on. So Kuwait is everything I had imagined, and I maybe didn't foresee that event happening, but maybe that was my error. Maybe I was naive and needed to realize that there were some communication issues in our relationship that we had to fix. And
you know, honestly, I have one friend who actually worked in Kuwait. And this is a long time friend from a long time ago. He was, back in the aughts, they pink slipped a lot of teachers because of the charter school movement. So at least a couple of my friends took jobs with this. It's like a teachers abroad type of thing, where you go to other countries and teach elementary school kids, right? So one of them was a special ed teacher who went to Germany, and the other one was like a general ed teacher who went to Kuwait, and loved taking pictures with his students and, you know, having this great experience. He had a work visa. He was allowed to be there. He wasn't visa tripping like this. He was there, I think, for like 2 years before he finally came back to the States and got a job in SoCal at a school here. But the way she's doing this, she has no business being in that country, because she was not asked to come there for a job, and she's just a burden on their society at this point. She's just some fat bitch who is gonna have to use their medical resources and makes up all kinds of excuses for why she needs a man.
Other than that, everything else I really enjoy about being here. So, to answer that,
Right.
What if in 5 years' time something happens to half your family and they are no longer there? Will you regret leaving stability in pursuit of needing to belong to a man relationship? Oh, honey, I don't know how long you've been watching me
Oh,
for,
honey.
but if you think that my life in Canada was stable, please go back and watch my live streams from a year ago, okay?
It's an entire country. You seriously think that you couldn't have changed up your circumstances and, maybe moved to a different part of Canada? Maybe created a different social existence for yourself? You made the choices that you made, where you had drug addicts in your life and you apparently destroyed all of your relationships with your family. This is on you. Canada is a fucking ass huge country. There's a lot of options there. And it sounds like you want to be a snowbird anyway. You don't even want to be in Kuwait during the summer.
I'm so much more stable now than I was back then.
Wow, that's amazing.
I don't regret leaving my family because everyone has the right to pursue their happiness, even if that's not, even when I lived in Canada, I didn't.
You're not happy. You're miserable. And it's very clear by all of your live streams how angry you are at all times. You're not happy. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you looked happier when you went back for Christmas to Canada. Even though it looked like you were living out of your car, you still looked happier than you are now.
To my family every single day. Everyone has their own lives. Like, I can go back anytime, like I did around Christmas, and see my family.
Uh-huh.
So, will I regret not seeing them as much? I regret not seeing them as much. I mean, I'm making the decision to be here, right? So, if something happens and they get sick, yeah, I would go back and be with them for sure. But as it stands now, I'm totally fine with going back and seeing them maybe once or twice a year. And I talk to them every day. So I don't know I don't know if they're projecting or they're thinking of themselves when they say I need to belong to a man. People see me as like weak and pathetic for running back here. Again, you don't fully.
Well, you've created a really weird situation here because you're in a culture where it's male dominated, and yet you're trying to dominate your male. He's a beta male, right? And you're cosplaying as Muslim, and it's just like, it's insulting to fucking everybody. You literally just said a month ago that you don't believe in God anymore.
Our relationship, everything we built, other than this one slip up with the text messages, it wasn't in real life. I mean, people think that I'm like weak or something for running back here and trying to make my marriage work over that mishap. I think I'm strong to be.
That's not a mishap. You said it yourself that he has a fetish that he can't control. You said it yourself on your live stream. He has a fetish that he can't control. So what are you talking about? One mishap. What are you talking about, Chantel?
Dealing with all of these things, and I don't have to be here. I choose to be here. I could be anywhere in the world I want to. I have that fortune. I'm fortunate enough, mashallah, to be able to work, successful enough in social media to be able to work wherever I want in the world. That's
not how working in other countries is, okay? You can't just like show up to a country and be like, well, I'm a YouTuber, therefore I should be able to stay here. That's not how it works. And you know that because you've been dealing with the visa system for a long ass time. You know that that's not how it works. You have to actually have a purpose for being in the country, whether it be a travel visa or a work visa or a green card, or you actually get residency or whatever it is. But you have been flight hopping on a travel visa. So you're full of shit. You can't just be anywhere in the world. Unless you plan on just like traveling to countries all over the place and staying in hotels. Is that what you want to do? I don't think you can afford that because you're not getting enough views on your channel. There's only 5,258 views on this video. That's pathetic. Oh my God.
This is, my husband is not the only man on the planet. I choose to be with him. I love him, and I think that our marriage is worth working on. People get very small snippets of what we deal with and what we talk about, what we go through. So, what happens if Salah up and leaves you?
Yeah, I imagine that's true because it looked like you guys were fighting all last week. You were really upset.
Because it isn't what he wanted after all. Okay, then that happens, and I'll deal with it. Like I said, you don't know the language, you don't know customs or laws. A lot of people who travel don't really know all that, and I do know the customs and laws a lot now, and I have my husband here as a translator. You have no friends. I do have friends I talk to online, and there's no family will fly to Kuwait to see you.
You have friends you talk to online. So who the hell are you serving up your platter of full-size candy bars to? Nobody, right? That's your own binge platter. You lie to your audience every goddamn day.
What if you have a near-death experience? These are all really what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if that, thinking of all of the worst case scenarios. I don't do that. I try to develop my character to be able to deal with problems as they come up because they can happen, but I don't anticipate them and give myself more anxiety. You must have a lot of anxiety in life. I don't know. Are you prepared to pass away without being near your mom or sister? Well, that is a possibility. That's a possibility.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She does not care. What happens to her body after she is deceased. She does not care whether it gets transported back to Canada, whether she gets buried in Kuwait. She does not care. She has no fucking plans. She's 40, severely obese, with diabetes, and has not made any sort of arrangements to take care of her if she actually passes, right? Okay.
Anything can and will happen. Yes, it can, but I'm not going to not live my life and stay close to home just in case these things happen. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about if your world entirely imploded? I mean, it's crossed my mind, but again, I believe that Allah gives us challenges that we can handle, and if that happens, I mean, I'm not super attached to any material things anymore in my life. If my health happen, I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that. It's not something I worry.
Really? Because it looks like you're still really into buying clothes and stuff. You buy clothes far more than I do. The last time I bought clothes was 2 years ago. So I don't. Oh, I'm not really into material things. The last time I bought clothes was a couple of years ago. I bought some. Oh, it was longer than that. It was right when we went into the pandemic. I bought a couple pairs of jeans. And most recently I bought some slippers. I got some new slippers. They're coming. But this woman was buying all kinds of clothes and got a bunch of clothes for Christmas and can't figure out how to have her family send her a care package in Kuwait. She's incapable of figuring these things out, I guess.
No, I don't. Salah's proof of life, no. Are you seeing an endocrinologist for your diabetes? And if so, what do they have you on for meds? I am seeing an endocrinologist here. I did some vlogs on it.
Endocrinologist. I think that's how it's pronounced. I do not think she's pronouncing that word correctly, you guys.
I'm on Genumet right now, 2,000 milligrams a day. Everyone asks questions, not just the show the questions you approve of. But why would I show hateful comments I don't want to answer? Before you moved to Kuwait, you...
Oh, well, I don't know. I left a question for you asking if you had actually been diagnosed with sciatica or had just self-diagnosed. I don't think that's super hateful, Chantel, but it is a realistic question. Did you actually go to a doctor and get diagnosed with that? Or are you just like, I don't know, I just hurt. I hurt my back, it hurts.
wanted to adopt a baby. Is that still a plan? No, not right now.
I should hope not.
I don't know what the future is going to bring. I have a lot of work on myself to do. You know, I want to be responsible that way. Maybe in the far future, I don't know. You know,
You can't even take care of cats. I can't even imagine how traumatic it would be for children to be in your care. Oh my God. No. Stay away from the kids, please.
even Salah's views on that has changed. So we just want to. When I came back, we really talked about life goals as part of like, is it, you know, worth making this marriage work? And he just wants to be with me, regardless if that's, you know, he just wants to be with me, work on our relationship, stay off of YouTube, focus on me, focus on his career. He's a smart guy. He's been to university. He wants to develop his life more. And he's a young guy.
Does he have a son from a previous relationship? Did anybody ask that question? Because that's been kind of percolating, if you will, in the background that he might actually have a son.
You know, so who knows in the future? I don't know. Are you on your way back to Canada right now? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Why don't you do your walks on lives? That would be nice. I can do that. Sure.
She's on her way back to Canada right now? What are you talking about? Like you just came back to Kuwait. Like what's happening? Are you gonna leave him? Because he on the other live stream he also said nothing's permanent, right? So if you're thinking about leaving this relationship, first of all, you don't have to tell everybody online about this. You can just handle it. You can handle it. But if you're going to drop hints, then follow through.
Ever consider your YouTube career could be hindering your weight loss motivation? No.
Nah.
I don't think so. Because I don't associate like any stress with YouTube with like any.
Do you well hold up. Let me I think I'm paused. Do you associate monetary value for eating on screen, right? I think that's the better question.
Stress with YouTube with like anything. Like I don't like get stressed out to the point where I like go and eat or from YouTube, you know, like if I rage or get mad, I say what I got to say and then that's it. And then it's gone, you know. That's like the good thing about letting it out. It's gone after.
Is anybody paying you on the side to do these mukbangs? Can you answer the goddamn question?
That I don't let it just like ruin my life. I move on very easily. I'm impulsive in decisions, but that's also I'm also like my emotions come and go very quickly. So I would say no. I would say if anything it motivates me more because I have people on my side always trying to push me. And even though I'm kind of like, you know, even though I haven't really been successful.
Yeah, seriously, you look like you're absolutely trolling us with these disgusting food overeating situations. The pot pie, the fucking disgusting spaghetti, the giant platter of shrimp when you've got a cholesterol problem, the you had what was it, a kebab with a huge ass platter of rice. Um, you made like the most giganormous tuna sandwich I've ever fucking seen. Um, you definitely are purposely overeating online, and I imagine you're getting compensated somehow to do that.
As you know, to lose weight and get healthy yet. I feel like the extra support of people on my side makes it more motivating. Also, the fact that I could potentially help a lot of people, that's one thing I really, really like about it.
Who the hell do you think you're helping? You are an absolute picture of like death fat. Um, you're not helping anybody by doing what you're doing. All you're helping is the React channels to have content to talk about how disgusting this is.
I don't do mukbangs just for money or anything. I do it like to show you. I like having dinner with you guys. I don't do it like, you don't see me eating 5 burgers. If I have a slip up and I want to be honest about it, yeah, maybe I'll do it. But other than that, will you be on camera?
Oh, really? So when you did that whole Taco Bell mukbang and you spent the entire time just like raging against React channels, it was because I just like having dinner with you. Okay. All right.
And then, will you be in Canada for Ramadan? Your visa expires, doesn't it? How will you do Ramadan without Salah? None of what you just said is ever going to happen. So, like, you imagined a total situation on your own there. No, I will not be in Canada for Ramadan. My visa expires, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. How will you do Ramadan without Salah? I won't be. Would you consider, where do you stand as far as trying a plant-based diet again, or even a vegetarian one that focuses on fresh fruits and veg and beans and legumes and whole grains, maybe some yogurt and feta and eggs in moderation, golden milk and herbal teas and lots of water, fresh juices in moderation for beverages? I realize this got oddly specific, but I'd be happy with you just answering the first part. If you would ever consider going vegetarian or plant-based. I would consider adding a lot more plant-based food in my diet for sure. You know, any diet other than carnivore, keto, well, keto certain vegetables. Most, like even the diabetic plan I'm on, or anything, you know, you should be eating way more vegetables and soluble fiber. So yeah, I would definitely, but the thing is because of my eating disorder, like going to extremes is really hard for me right now. But I don't know.
You're not being treated for an eating disorder. You didn't even tell your doctor that you have one, which obviously he could just look at you and tell that you do. But you're not actually seeking treatment for an eating disorder, so you need to stop acting like you know what you're talking about, because you don't.
Oh, I love fish, I love chicken, so I'm not sure, but I would incorporate more of those foods. I don't know where that cut off. I got a phone call. I would incorporate more fruits and veggies in my diet for sure. Okay, I'm going to end with this one. Do you ever feel regretful about giving up your cats? You wish you could have taken them with you? Genuine questions. Yeah, I it's hard to say I regret the decision, because I don't feel like there was really any, like, I don't think that, at the time especially, I thought that it was a good idea to rehome them, because I didn't think it was a good idea taking them all the way to the Middle East, especially BBJ, who's very old and has a lot of health issues. So I was worried something would happen to them, and I wanted to find them a loving home. I thought that would be best. It was probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. They were a huge part of my life. They were like my children in a way. I mean, not, you know what I mean, pet children. So while it hurts my heart every day that I don't have them with me and that I rehomed them, I still
I've literally transported cats cross country to move them. It was never a question. It was never a, do we need to rehome them? We figured it out. One of them got transported on a flight. The other one apparently would not stay in the cage and tried to escape. So he traveled with us in the U-Haul, and we just made arrangements for that. And my cat, I had to travel both ways, cross country with my cat. If you love your pets, you find a way. She didn't love her pets. She wasn't taking care of her pets.
don't know what other choice I could have made, given the fact that, you know, I had very little time to make that decision. And I just,
That's not true. You were just impulsive, and you wanted the D, and so you needed to get to Kuwait as quickly as possible, and you obviously did not care about making arrangements for your cats. You didn't care.
I don't know what else I would have been able to do. Like, I, at the time especially, felt that. So, it's too bad that I had to make that decision. But, you know, a lot of people have to rehome their pets when they move out of country. Some of them don't, but a lot of people do. So, anyways, that's it for this part 1 of the Q&A.
She literally just didn't want to have to pay for the shots and the certification. There is a process to actually getting your cat to be able to fly on a plane. But we did it. I mean, we had one of the cats fly from Richmond, Virginia to Orange County, California. And she was a little freaked out when she got here, but she lived. She was fine.
I'm sorry if I seem like snarky, but I don't know how else to answer some of the questions without sounding that way, because they're kind of like really weird question, like dumb questions. But thank you guys for asking them anyways. I'll just go down the list and make like as many parts as I need to answer them all. So don't worry if I didn't get to your questions.
Well, I don't know how you're going to do that since you've already deleted the string of questions, and you dirty deleted your community post this morning. So I'm not sure how you're going to get to the rest of the questions.
Going down, and I will get to yours eventually. All right, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.